And there's a line drive hit by Brian Daniels to center field. And the ball is a diving attempt by Santana out there. And Daniels is into second with a double. And I'm joined here with my main man, Dennis Turner, better known as DT from Worth, or from Louisville Slugger. Sorry. DT, been good joining you again. Last time we were up here, we saw a doozy.
Yeah, it was Resmondo against Backman Shop in the rain. And Backman actually had him on the ropes.
Big time on the ropes.
Big time on the ropes, and like Resmondo does from time to time, come back, and they ended up winning the game.
Yeah, the defense in that game, when we look at that game and review it, there was very few errors made. It's one of the best defensive games I've ever seen. Just remarkable plays made by a lot of great athletes on the softball field. So let's hope this one here will give us kind of the same excitement.
So we got VCH, which is hitting right now. They're out of Texas and Ohio.
Yep.
And then you have Resmondo, which is out of Florida.
VCH got to this game via 17-12 victory this morning against
Broughton.
Another Worth squad. Broughton, bad draw. And so these guys, they played pretty good down the stretch and everything, as did Broughton. But obviously a bigger stage here, bigger field. So it'll be interesting to see how they play the game here. Do they choose to do what they do best, or maybe, sometimes they try to hit home runs a lot. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes the problem with teams that, find themselves in the fourth or fifth inning struggling or behind. They don't play their game. They don't play the game that got them here. They try to get caught up, or sometimes they get caught up in the big field and feeling like they got to hit the home runs or they got to hit the gaps. But I guess it's the old saying that my grandpa said, "Dance with the girl that brought you." So just keep doing what you've been doing to get you here, and don't change anything. But
as you look at the field that's in this USSSA Men's Major World Series, you look at a team like a Precision, who really, I've been watching them all year. They do that a lot. They do that as good as anybody does. It doesn't matter what size the field is, they play the game.
Right.
And I think the teams that buy into that here can see some success.
So that ends the top of the first, and no runs were scored. Resmondo will come up to bat here in the bottom of the first.
Okay, we're back here in the bottom of the first inning. Mike Cornell, Dennis Turner, Resmondo getting ready to step it up here. And they'll be led off by Dennis Ruley. Dennis is the middle infielder. He hails from Moore Park, California. Dennis is a player that's been around the circuit a long time. Obviously, one of the better middlemen, leadoff hitters in the game.
Yeah, Dennis is one of those guys when you're building a team, he's one of those top three picks that you want. Not only because he's a great infielder. He can play the middle, he can play short, he can play third base. he picks apart the defense just like he did there.
Right.
I mean, that's just a testament to what he's done his whole career. Does a phenomenal job picking out spots, picking out lanes. And not only can he hit the lanes, hit the gas, but he can also blow it out when he needs to.
And I think when you look at how he approaches hitting, I've always said many times that he's one of the best five-man hitters that I've seen. I take a guy like him or a Bryson Baker. They can find, they can literally hit it between two guys standing 7-8 feet apart and actually be meaning to do it.
Right.
They practice it when they're taking BP. And there's a line drive by Greg Cannell. One of the things that the fans out there will notice that all the Resmondo players are wearing the number 33 tonight in honor of Frank Webb, who's the manager of the team. And Dennis, I know you've known Frank for many years. He's from the St. Louis area where you're from. Kind of speak a little bit to that, so tell the fans a little bit about Frank.
Yeah, I met Frank in 1995 when I started playing with the Nasty Boys out of St. Louis, and we were a local St. Louis, Illinois team. And at that time, it was a long shot by Andy that's foul, but at that time in 1995, Frank was helping coach Richie Superior, TPS, the Super Major team. And I was fortunate enough to know Frank, to meet Frank, to learn from Frank. What an ambassador to this game, and what a friend to a lot of these players, not only on the Resmondo team, but for all the players that Frank comes into contact with. Just a genuine, nice fella, great ambassador for the game. Has been with Travis since 1999, and Frank has been going through some treatments, and let's just leave it at that. Frank's been going through some treatments, and we all know people. We have family, friends, loved ones that go through this type of treatment, and the one thing that we all want to do is support them, and that's what Resmondo is doing here with the jerseys. It's in support of Frank with the number 33 on their back. So it's a great thing of what Resmondo is doing, and it's just it's a warm-hearted feeling.
Yeah, we'd like to also, I know that these jerseys were ordered just really a week ago, and I want to thank Jeff Hall and his crew up there at East Coast Athletics for getting these jerseys here for the team in time for this game. You just saw a bomb go over that scoreboard, and I have a feeling the way this conditions are tonight, we're going to be seeing that a lot, not only from Jimmy Salas, but also from a lot of these players.
Yeah, that's DW and I were talking about the last game. So, when were we going to see that? The ball go over the wall, and we just saw it with Jimmy Salas. That's a creature.
Here's one of the finer young hitters in the game, Bubba Mack, stepping in and drawing a walk. Wes Newell, the pitcher for VCH, he's a pretty crafty guy. I mean, he hangs in there. He doesn't walk a lot of people. He does a really good job. He was actually the MVP of the Space Coast Classic back at the beginning of the year, where VCH notched their first conference victory for the year. So he's been around a few times. We'll see how it's going to be. He's going to do the best he can to just try to harness the power that Resmondo obviously has. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I noticed earlier, and this may be the first game ever in the history where both teams are wearing jerseys that are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the name on the back of the VCH jerseys is Foley, and we don't know the story about this, but hopefully somebody can text us, message us, maybe give us some insight.
Yeah, that would be great.
On what that story is all about. I'm assuming it's a close friend of the team's, possibly back in Texas.
Yep. That ball was mashed right there by BJ. I'm a little surprised as I watch the defensive lineman from VCH here. You and I both know how the ball tends to carry to right center here. I'm a little surprised that guy's not shading over and playing a little deeper, but again, we'll see what I'm sure after a couple balls hit deep in that gap, they'll make adjustments.
Ball flat.
Big Lee Powers batting. He's just a little bit early on that, but hammered. Big, strong kid from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. His dad, of course, the famous Jimmy Powers, who was one of the major softballs, best hitters ever. And Lee absolutely murders that ball, but it stays in the park. I thought that was a little deeper.
Yeah, that one got up there.
So we got the Newell has recorded the first out for Resmondo here, so that'll bring up Donnie Jr. here.
So this is the game where Resmondo is obviously they've obviously taken the lead. They're going to score as many runs as they can, as fast as they can, and they're going to try to make VCH chase.
Right.
That's what they do to a lot of teams. And if you don't hit with them, if you don't play with them, it's going to be a short game.
Yep. And of course, with the home run, no home run limitation, it obviously changes everything as you see Junior drive one. That's just a little bit foul, but you know, these guys here, I think they wait all year for this, you know, from the Smokies on to get back to an all-you-can-hit situation, and you know, I'm sure they'll be, you know, looking, especially the lefties here, they'll be looking to drive it.
Play.
And that ball there was hit really well, but stayed in the park. It's collected by Daniel, so we got 2 outs here. With Resmondo up 6-0. One of the things Resmondo's also done a really good job with this year also is building their team with a lot of left-handed hitters.
Right.
And you know, this really comes in handy when you're playing down here at Champion Stadium.
Yeah, we've been here since 2000, and every year it seems that the lefties prevail.
Yeah.
And you know, we were talking about that last game. You know, is there a lot of player movement? Well, yeah, there's a lot of player movement, and this is one of the reasons why.
Right.
You know, if there's a lefty out there that fits your team's scheme or fills a slot, and he's a lefty, yeah, why wouldn't you take him?
Exactly.
I mean, all the tournaments, you know, they all mean something. Every tournament means, every game means something. But, you know, everything leads up to this. The World Series of slow pitch at the major level. And this is the best of the best. And this is the one you want to win. You know, this is the one you talk about.
And you're seeing exactly what we talked about here, a power display by these left-handed hitters. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this, you know, throughout this tournament.
Play.
Here comes another lefty for Resmondo, Nick Santana. He's from right here in the Orlando area. Good young hitter. Great center fielder. Covers a lot of ground out there. Does an outstanding job for Resmondo. And Nick hammers that ball. That one's not going to get caught. That's gone.
So it's another good, you know, another thing that Resmondo does well. You know, they bat it through the order. They flip the order. It's back to Rulli. They've played it 9. So VCH, you know, once they get this third out going into the top of the second, they're going to have to try to cut that lead in half.
Yep. The worst thing they can do when they come up in the bottom of the second is not score, because if that happens, this could be over early. So they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to get Rulli out here, one of these guys, and then, you know, like you said, they don't have to get it all back. Maybe just try to cut it in half.
Bottom right there, bub. I got you. Let me know when you're ready. Play.
Rulli's hit that ball pretty good, and that ball is gone.
He can hit it down, he can hit it up, he can hit it out.
I'll tell you, you know, I've gone and taken a lot of BP sessions with Rulli, and you know, we shot some videos with him for his senior bat that we introduced this year. And I got to tell you, he not only can do all the things we've talked about, hit through a 5-man, you know, hit the ball in the gaps. He's got really good power for his size. I mean, I've seen him, you know, come out and hit him opposite field over that 385 mark, which is pretty impressive. That's a nice play right there. That's a great play by Gonzo.
So Resmondo plates 9 in the bottom of the first. When we come back, VCH is going to have to get at least 4 or 5 to stay in this game. So here we are in the top of the second. Resmondo leading 10-0. Looks like we have Tom Crump leading the inning. And he takes a stab at one. This one is definitely going out and over. And over. So 2 balls in this game that have went over the center field wall, Salas and Crump. So I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot more before the end of the night's over.
Yeah, they're like I said, you know, this field is playing real deep tonight. There's another one. I think that might stay in though. No. Oh, almost had it. So Ropel hits one out, back-to-back home runs for VCH.
So VCH is in a situation right now to where it looks like they just need to go up there, free swing, let the chips fall where they may. Don't get cheated. Put the bat on the ball, put a good swing on it. Let's see what happens.
Well, the interesting thing, you know, that you know, again, we talked about, you know, some teams, you know, trying to match the bigger teams power for power. But, you know, the way these guys are hitting the ball now, and that's a nice stab play by Bubba, but that's going to be down for a hit. But the thing about it is if a lot of these hitters will identify from that 385 mark to the foul pole, that's where they need to be pulling it.
Right.
I think they get that, you know, they've got a shot.
Sure.
But the hard thing is sometimes guys want to hit it in what I call the cone, which is from the inside pole of the facade to the other pole of the facade, and that's a long way out there. And you know, you've played in this stadium, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, and that's you know, what we talked about earlier is that, you know, the pitchers, you know, Andy Vitzak or any of the top pitchers are going to pitch away from you.
Right.
They're going to pitch on the outer half, trying to get you to keep it in that cone, so to speak.
Correct.
Time 1.
Because I've coached some A teams and some B teams that have played in the stadium, and I always tell the guys, hey, you know, you got to make sure that you go where your strengths are. If you're a pull hitter, pull the ball out of here. If you're a pull hitter to the other side, pull it out of here.
Right.
You can really, I mean, it's disheartening to hit a 380-foot fly ball and it's caught at the warning track. So, you know, so the guys that buy into that will have a shot. The guys that don't buy into it, it's going to be a short afternoon or evening for them. Oh, he dropped it.
Tailing back to him.
Yep.
Looked like got him on the heel.
Yep.
Okay.
See what happens here, DT, on the replay.
He definitely pushed it off of him.
Yep.
Looks like the glove got in front of his face.
Yeah.
And he just took his eye off of it.
Almost overran it, maybe. A little bit.
Play.
So let's see if Solomon can get a hit here and get it back to the top of the order.
Oh.
That ball takes a hop right over Junior's glove.
Easy.
I think we were all thinking that ball was going to stay down and got a friendly hop right there. So they played another run here. So now we got the top of the order with the Speedy Daniels coming up and runners at the corner.
Yeah, this is a key at bat here.
Yeah, Isaac Gonzalez will be the number 3 hitter here. If they can get him to the plate, they can do some damage. He was really, really hitting it good this morning in that game against Broughton.
Yeah, he's one of those up-and-coming players that you know, some of the upper teams, the top teams, need to start looking at.
Yep.
Out. Time 2, gentlemen.
So here comes Josh Christian. And if Christian can, again, if he can get on base here and get Gonzalez in the box, he's got plenty of power to get it out of here.
Here we go, sir. Play.
And then, of course, Dennis Schrum hitting behind him, which
Right.
you know, we know how he's a strong youngin.
Ball. Full flat. Hop.
Outer half,
That was
just
right.
caught it.
They cut it.
Ball gonna
Is that in
stay
the corner?
fair.
That's
a
out of
fair
here.
ball and gone.
Did that hit the wall or did that go out?
It looked like it hit the top of the pad.
Time.
Let's look on the replay here and we'll see.
Hit the top of the wall.
Yeah, it hit the top of the wall. I can hear somebody saying it down there.
Here's a replay.
Yeah.
Yep, hit the top of the wall. Instead of going out, came back in. So here's the young man we were talking about, Isaac Gonzalez. And he's, like, as you alluded to, DT, he's one of the really talented up-and-coming players in the conference. And the way he was swinging he's been swinging the bat today, I look for him to do one thing here.
As you can see, Andy's pitching him away.
Sure.
Don't want to get him extended there.
Nope.
He's the,
Little hot.
they don't want to give him anything to hit.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
But you still got Schrum up here now.
Yep.
Yeah, Schrum can take it a long way as well. He's been doing it for a while.
And Schrum's always has been a really good gap-to-gap hitter. So he's got a really good chance here of doing some damage. Tails one down the line. That's going to be fair off the wall, and that's going to plate at least one, and they're going to hold up Gonzalez at third base.
So what we talked about, they cut the lead in half, which is good. I mean, they had to do this.
That's right.
So with 2 outs, runners on second and third, you know, if they can get a couple more runs in, they'll be in some business.
Yep. And that'll bring up Zane Trammell now. You know, Trammell's job obviously will be to get these runs in, but it's going to be interesting with that gap in left center field what he chooses to do, and he tried to go to the left center field gap, I think. And that's going to probably be caught. It will. See, I wonder sometimes when you got runners at second and third, even though there's 2 outs, and you have the ability to go there,
Tom, nice hit,
sometimes
bud.
they, get it in their mind. Okay, we're back here. We're in the bottom of the second inning. It's a 10-6 score between Resmondo Specialty Tank Worth and VCH Worth. And the pitcher, Andy Purcell, is going to lead things off here. Now, Andy's probably one of the best. He's one of the better hitters I've seen in this stadium throughout the years. What he does that I think a lot of hitters, can attest to that do this is he spins the ball really well. He puts an incredible amount of spin on the ball when he hits it. And he hits a lot of home runs, I've noticed, when it's hot, where sometimes the guys that hit the ball in the face, the ball kind of sits in that air a little bit more, and he doesn't quite get the distance. But he's come out in this tournament here, really looks like he's barreling it up really good.
Well, the one thing that he does, he gets on the plate, he looks for the inner half pitch, and he's going to stay between the foul pole and the Walt Disney World sign. So we got about 150 feet that he's dealing with.
Right.
He makes sure he clears his hips. He's getting through the ball, moving that window out to where he can pull it, and that's why he's been successful.
Yep.
Because it's a shorter distance. It just makes sense.
Salas hits a high fly ball for an out. And that'll bring up Bubba Mack. Bubba Mack is swinging his brand new signature bat, the Bubba Load, two-piece bat. He's one of the, another one of these fine young hitters we're seeing coming up throughout the conference through the ranks.
He's kind of one of the older guys now. He's kind of like a middle of the road. Let's say it like that. He hasn't been around forever like Andy and BJ, but he's not as young as some of the guys that are coming up. He's kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, he's still in his 20s.
He's a tweener.
So I guess the way some of these kids now are starting playing softball when they're 19, 20 years old, Bubba draws the walk.
And that's one thing we talked about earlier. There's a lot of great players in the conference. Started last year. It's more prominent now. These players are athletic. They can do a little bit of everything.
Yep. That brings up BJ Falk, who hails from King, North Carolina. BJ has been around this circuit for a while now, has won multiple all-world teams. Big left-handed hitter. Now, what BJ can do in most situations is hit the ball line to line. But I have a feeling in these conditions here, I got a feeling I know what he's really thinking.
Well, he got that pitch on the inner half.
Yep, and that's off the old House Cat Lounge over in right field, named appropriately after Howie House Cat Krause.
A 3-run bomb for BJ. That's his second home run of the series. He's already driven in 5 in this evening's ballgame. The base is cleared for the additional hitter. He plays out of Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, Lee Powers.
Big Lee Powers stepping in. Now, Dennis, did you ever get to play with Lee's dad, Jimmy?
No, I was. I think I came in right after Jimmy was finished, or on the backside of his career. I think at that time he was playing with Shen Valley or Team TPS. I can't recall, but it might have been a couple, 2-3 years that we were playing against each other.
I can remember when I first got into this, sitting in the dugout with Jackie Hayes, who was a long-time coach at this level, and he used to tell me all the time, he said, I'd walk a small village and I'd have to pitch to him.
Yeah.
He was that good a hitter, and when it was crunch time, I don't know if there was anybody any better. Here's Donnie Jr. He ropes one down the line. It looks like it's going to be foul. West tried to slip one in there. That's a nice little piece of hitting by Donnie there.
So I noticed he's not wearing his prescription glasses like he was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if he got contacts or what's going on with that. I know he was wearing them earlier this season, I know. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need them at night. Maybe he just wears them during the day now.
Sure.
Maybe, you know. But nice piece of hitting by Junior there. He's got the ability to spray it all over the place. Got good back control and, you know, uses the whole field. Yates skies this ball. And if there's enough room there, that's caught.
So he's going to score from second.
Yep.
Good hustle there.
Yep, Junior made a nice turn around third base, saw he had an opportunity and took it.
And that's what we talked about earlier, you know. You need to go hard all the time, whether it's out of the box or just like Junior did, you know, because you never know. I mean, that hustle could win you the game. At the end of the day, if it comes down to it, if you can get that extra run or get that extra inch or get that extra foot and hustle a little bit harder, it could be the difference between winning and losing.
Well, I think one of the things, and you know, you look at a lot of players that have played in this conference and at this level for many years, you know, he's one of those guys that when he comes off the field after any game, dirt all over his pants, on his shirt. I mean, the kid's always played,
Right.
you know, as hard as anybody I've ever seen. So, you know, what we just saw there is kind of a testimony to his, you know, he's got that bulldog attitude when he gets out on the field. You know, he's going to give it maximum effort from the first inning all the way to the seventh inning.
Right. Well, VCH is down 15-7 here in the bottom of the second. There's one out. And they need to get these a couple more outs here so they can come back in and start scoring some runs.
Santana just mashed that ball. That ball was hit. Here comes.
And this is one of those games where you know, there's no mistakes being made. Knock on wood. You know, Resmondo's just coming up, hitting good pitches, taking their cuts. So it's really hard for VCH to defense us right now. Oh, shot up the middle.
Nice play by the second baseman off the carom, Dennis Schrum.
So there was 2 outs. That's the end of the inning.
Yep.
My apologies.
That's okay.
So what were you saying?
Since day one, combat has been at the forefront of composite bats. In today's game, where margins for error are small, combat's larger sweet spot means our bats reach maximum performance over a wider span. It's the difference between a home run or a warning track, a base hit through the middle or hitting into a double play. It's the difference between winning and losing.
Yep. Okay, we're back here at Champion Stadium and the beautiful Disney Wide World of Sports. I'm here with my broadcast partner, Dennis Turner, better known to everybody as DT. And let's see what VCH can do here to try to climb back into this game.
So we found out some information about VCH and the uniforms that they're wearing with the Foley on the back, and just received a text from Chris Walker, Fence Brokers. Congrats on the A-World Champion.
Yep.
He texted, Emery is the daughter of Spencer Foley, which played on VCH. She passed away after about a month. She was born with Downs and had heart problems. Spencer played with Fence Brokers for a couple years, and he is from Arkansas. So that is the reason VCH has Foley on the back of their jerseys.
And that's a pretty cool thing to see that,
Yes.
you know, these guys are sending out a tribute like that. You know, we don't talk about it enough, you know, how the, you know, within the conference, you know, it really is kind of like a big family. I mean, everybody knows everybody. And, you know, a lot of times when there's any kind of tragedies or anything befalls a family or a member of one of the teams, it seems like everybody kind of rallies around them. So that's a nice tribute by John Kilburn and his crew to put that on the jerseys.
Time. Nobody.
Yeah, it's you know, the conference is a really tight-knit family. You know, obviously you want to go out and you want to beat the other team.
I got you, bro. You let me know.
But at the end of the day, when you're sitting around, everybody's good buddies, good friends.
Well, let's face it. I mean, a lot of these teams, they see each other every weekend, not only on the field, they see each other at the airport, at the rental car counter, at the hotel. I mean, it really truly is a very, very small fraternity of players, coaches, and sponsors that see each other all the time. So hats off to John Kilburn and VCH. There's a ground ball is going to make the middle, and they're going to play to run here. So, you know, VCH is got a little bit of a rally going here, so let's see what they can do with nobody out.
Kenny's one of those good players for VCH. You know, he's kind of like a Rulli. You know, he can hit those lanes, he can hit it out, he can hit it up. Plays great defense.
Right.
So, and Kenny's another one of those up-and-coming players that some of these top teams are going to start looking at. Look at that opposite
that ball's
field.
gone. Yeah, he hit that field really well. And here's VCH, you know, staying in the game. It kind of appears to me too that VCH, you know, they've kind of come into this game. You know, they you know, looking at their body language before the game started, they didn't really look intimidated. You know, they've already played a game today. They have a little confidence going. They were hitting them out of here in the heat of the day. So, you know, I mean, this is, you know, they're hanging in there. They just got to keep trying to battle and stay close. That's the name of the game now for them. That ball there is also hit well. That's going to be over the head of Bubba Yates. Or Yates, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
So they keep chipping away. That's what you need to do.
Well, here we are back at the top of the lineup with Brian Daniels. And again, Daniels last time hit the ball really hard. With a runner at third base here, it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to do. That right center field gap is pretty big. They're kind of bringing Izzy over a little bit. And Andy kind of threw that outside too, so that may have been an opportunity right there. But that's surprising there. I'm surprised the runner didn't go at third base. I think he might have made it. That ball wasn't hit real hard.
2 down. Here we go. Play. Unfairly delivered. Got to turn and face me first with the pause. Got to face me with the pause. You got to face me with the pause. You can't pitch from behind me and not pause. Every time you've ever done that, you've stopped when you spun around.
So Jason has given Andy a little information on why he called it what was it, unfair pitch?
Was it unfair delivery?
Unfair delivery?
Yeah.
So he had his back to the plate. I think anything that comes out of Andy's hand's an unfair delivery.
Yeah, especially if you're up there trying to hit it.
And knuckleball's moving all over the place.
That ball's smoked.
That plate's another run, so 17-10, they're in the double digits.
Yeah, I got you.
Brings up Gonzalez.
There's now 5 across the inning.
And I will say, you know, I know we say this a lot of times in games, but you know, we're in the top of the third inning. But this is a big swing right here.
Sure.
You know, I mean, he played a couple more runs here. You know,
they're within striking distance.
Exactly. Like I said, he's been barreling it up pretty good today so far. So. And there's a nice play by Salas over there. Nice throw over to Connell at second. So that'll retire the sides as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Resmondo 17, VCH 11.
USSSA is the world's premier sports organization with over 4 million participants. The top youth baseball stars compete at the Wilson DeMarini Elite World Series and the Louisville Slugger Championship, looking to qualify for the USSSA National Youth Championships. In fast pitch, the top teenagers are on the field with USA Select, and the best in the world are on the USSSA Florida Pride. Nationwide Conference USSSA provides the ultimate challenge in slow pitch softball. At every level, you play the best when you play USSSA.
Okay, we're back here at Champion Stadium. Mike Cornell, Dennis Turner, here at the beautiful Disney Wild World of Sports. Resmondo batting here in the bottom of the third inning with Greg Cannell. And Cannell steps on that one, and that is through the pennants and into the trees.
That one's the longest one of the day so far.
Yep, that ball was murdered.
Kyle Pearson earlier hit one of the flags, but that one went over the flags. And I hope my rental vehicle is okay.
What kind of vehicle was that?
I got a Town and Country minivan.
You're big time.
Well, it's got the stow and go seating.
Again, you're big time. You may change your nickname from DT to Big Time.
I'm no time.
Are you on file?
I am on file, though.
Okay, that'll bring up Andy Purcell. Purcell hits a high fly ball. That's going to carry just in front of the warning track and be caught. So we got one out here. That'll bring up Jimmy Salas. Jimmy's from Whittier, California. Played on some of those really good GTL teams. And, his defensive prowess and hitting ability got him on the Resmondo Specialty Tank team. Jimmy's another one of those really good gap-to-gap hitters. And that one there is equally murdered. Gone.
Oh.
Well, that
was high.
Yeah.
That's why the fan out there had trouble catching
I think,
it.
he may have lost it in the
he lost it in the moon.
Kissimmee sky. And that brings up Bubba Mack.
Ball.
So Corny, I had talked to Bernie a couple games ago. We asked DW last game, what would be your walk-up song? Any idea?
For me?
Yeah. What's your walk-up song? Is it?
I would probably, let me think about that for a second. Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I kind of like all types of music.
Right. Well, we have time.
Yeah, so let me think
chew
on that a little bit.
Chew on that for a little bit.
What was yours, by the way?
I had two that I could choose from, both from AC/DC. Back in Black and Thunderstruck, correct.
Thunderstruck, you hear it in a lot of, I go to a lot of college football games to watch my beloved Miami Hurricanes play, and I hear that song a lot in the stadium. It does get you kind of jacked up.
Yeah, when I get up in the morning, I flip on Thunderstruck, kind of gets me going for the rest of the day.
That is a good tune, though.
Yeah.
And Back in Black's pretty good, too. So.
Oh, without a doubt.
Time, one, gentlemen.
I kind of like a song. When I was at the ACC baseball tournament this year, I heard a song by One Republic, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll think about it here in a second. You know, as you get older, DT, you can't always
retain information. I hear you.
I won't divulge my age or anything, but, you know, it gets tough.
Play.
That's why we take notes.
That ball is hit off the facade here at Champion Stadium by Mr. Lee Powers. That extends the lead for Resmondo. I guess Junior likes
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Who doesn't like Taylor Swift?
She has a lot. She has so many songs. It's hard to keep up with them all.
Play.
Junior really got on top of that one. That one ball is over the House Cat Lounge and gone.
And Giannis with the home run. So that's now 5 in the inning. And into the box. It'll be left-handed hitting left fielder, Jeremy Yates.
A couple guys out there at the House Cat Lounge just kind of laughing. They're like,
They got he's got his glove.
yeah.
Play.
He's ready, he was trying to snap him
Yeah,
off.
he ain't catching that one.
Well, look at he made an effort. It was just too far for him.
Yates is trying to go the other way with
Tony!
it. And that ball,
Oh,
nice play right there.
Out.
That was a great play. That was a long run.
Very nice play by Kenny Hare.
Certainly not as
Outstanding play. And that's a tough play because you're running, your vision's
Your
going
eyes
up,
are
bouncing
bouncing.
up and down.
Yep, high sky.
Yep, you gotta really, really concentrate. And Kenny made a heck of a play on that right there. Here comes Jeremy Izzy Eisenhower. Was just married not long ago to the lovely Natalie Hendrick. Congratulations to Izzy and his bride.
Play.
And you can hear a little boo-whoop there out of Jeremy, and that ball is gone.
And Eisenhower deposits.
Yes, sir. You let me know when you're at the ball.
Now, you know, I talked to some fans earlier, and you know, with the games that happened earlier today, with the stadium ball, you know, there was a lot of home runs being hit. People say, okay, you know, these guys don't need to be hitting a stadium ball. They should be hitting the Classic M, which, you know, they hit on the 300-foot fields. Is there a right or wrong ball to be used in the stadium? I mean, obviously, we know that Orlando, Florida, you know, it gets hot, balls get soft during the heat of the day with humidity. But when it gets cooler, the ball seems to fly. So is there a right ball or balls, plural, that can be used, or you just stick with one?
I'm not. I think it would cause some confusion if you use two different balls. You know, you may get some teams complaining about, hey, they got to hit this and we only got hit that. You know, a lot of the teams, like your upper seeds, are going to play at night. You know, your lower seeds are going to play in the daytime. So I think it would cause some controversy. Now, you know, they've been using this stadium ball here for years now.
Tony!
Here, and you know, I think there's two ways of looking at it. The first way is, can a lot of these guys, you know, a lot of these guys we know are going to hit home runs, like a Cannell, like a Helmer, you know, like a Kennington. These guys are going to hit home runs. It doesn't matter if it's a men's classic or a stadium ball. But I do think it adds an element of excitement for some of these other teams in an environment like this to actually be able to hit home runs, and I think the fans like it.
Without a doubt.
You know, when these teams get down here for the tournaments, you know, the other tournaments starting this weekend down on the lower diamonds and everything, you know, they're going to want to come out here and watch home runs hit. And they love seeing them balls go over the scoreboard. So, I mean, you know, That ball right there is murdered. That's on the back side of the greenery up there. Cannell's off to a good start. Of course, Cannell was a Triple Crown winner this year. That hasn't happened since 2004. And the big man from, who formerly from Moultrie, Georgia, now living down in Milton, Florida, he's had one heck of a season. I'll tell you, he
had a great year.
Oh, almost unconscious, and that's going to also bring it.
That's what we talked about earlier. I mean, Greg he's a very good ball striker.
One of the best. You know what? You look at guys like Brett Helmer. Look at guys like Kevin Kennington.
Sure.
I mean, you look at the power of these guys. Brett had it for years. Kennington. Wendell Ricard back in the days. Jeff Hall. I mean, all these guys that were, just always seemed to barrel everything up, And I think one of the things that Cannell has an element of that those guys have is quick hands.
Sure.
An ability to go from point A to point B in the blink of an eye. Paul Brannon was like that, when he played with some of the Hague teams and everything. He'd get in the box and, he'd kind of get in the box kind of slow and everything. But, buddy, when he got in that box, them hands were like lightning.
Right.
And so that's a really good point, DT. I think, when you look at Cannell's ability to just strike the ball and strike it quickly, he just has that. And he's also a great bad ball hitter. I mean, he can hit any pitch a long way.
Yeah.
So.
High fly ball to left field. Kenny Hare brings that in. That ends the inning. And at the end of 3, Resmondo is leading VCH 27-11.
All right, we're back here, folks, and there's a good look at some of the
Here we go.
The board members
All
here
right, here we go.
Triple SA. There's Danny Brown,
Wes.
Jim Swint, Kevin
Thank you,
Nagley,
sir.
and Big Greg Hutchinson,
Dennis,
one of my
your
main
verbal
men from down there in Texas. They're enjoying the beautiful night here at Champion Stadium.
Play.
Here comes Dennis Schrum. Dennis draws them hands, and that. Now you think about how strong you got to be to do that. He hit that, looked like off the tape. I always get a kick out of Dennis. Dennis is, how old is Dennis now, DT? What do you think, 48?
Yeah, I would say mid
48, somewhere around there. He still wears cleats.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And he skies
He
one
just
to.
missed that one.
Yeah. I know he's a big, strong rascal. Hit that ball high. Nick Santana makes the play.
A little heavy, bro. Yeah.
Number 51, Zane Trammell.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one was heavy. Play.
He takes one inside here. He skies that ball to center field. And here comes Santana. Is he going to be able to get it? Yep, he got it.
And Nick Santana getting
Hey, Doc. He's not going to be able to move tonight.
So we got 2 outs here. Resmondo leading 27-11. Top of the 4th inning. Crump hit a ball a long way last time off the center field facade here. So let's see what Crump, the AH, does here.
Play. Pop! Tom, I got you. Play.
Crump takes that ball inside. That ball is skied down the first baseline, and Bubba Mack's going to give chase, and that's going to be just foul. So that's going to retire the side. They're on a foul out. And we're going to move to the bottom of the fourth inning with Resmondo holding a 27-11 lead.
What can I do with one swing? What can't I? One swing can change a game, a tournament, a season. One swing should not be taken lightly. So ask yourself, what can you do with one swing?
You like end load? Do you like a huge sweet spot? You're gonna love these. Enjoy the show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Champion Stadium. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning with Resmondo holding a 27-11 lead and batting here in the bottom frame. Stepping into the box will be Jimmy Salas, the third baseman for Resmondo. Jimmy's hit a couple long balls out of here tonight. He smokes that ball down the third baseline, and that's going to be a fair ball, and Jimmy's going to rumble into second base with a double. So leadoff double for Jimmy Salas, and that's going to bring Bubba Mack up.
Sorry, John, terrible throw. Play.
Bubba likes to get them hands going and pull that ball as he does right there. That was a missile, and that's hit down the third baseline. That's going to roll into the corner and plate Salas. And that's going to bring in a run for Resmondo here. That ball was absolutely spot. Some of our viewing audience out there may notice that a lot of the Resmondo players are unveiling some of the new Worth bats tonight. BJ Falk swinging his new signature bat. You'll see some of the other players as well using the new Leonidas Purcell Resmondo and the Greg Cannell signature bat. Looks like these new sticks are off to a good start here tonight. That ball is hit hard by the big man from King, North Carolina, and that's going to plate Bubba. That'll bring up Lee Powers. Now Lee here is swinging the Resmondo Power Cell. This bat was introduced a few months ago and has done extremely well. This is the group signature bat for Powers, Yates, Santana, and Jimmy Salas.
Play. Ball.
The last one Lee hit was
Ball.
hit well.
Did he hit it far?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Or as we say back in North Carolina, fur piece. And that one there was hit, but that's probably going to go foul. Looks like the boys are locked in and ready to go here from what we've seen tonight as they hold a 29-11 lead. DT, let's talk a little bit, too, about, I know you've played in the aluminum bat era. Talk a little bit about, you obviously are the head slow pitch promotions manager for Louisville Slugger. Tell the audience out there a little bit what you've seen in the evolvement of these bats from the aluminum bat to the composite bat.
Well, the one thing that's evident is that there's a lot more players hitting home runs. It seems to me from all the games that we watch since composite has been introduced is there's a lot of players that can hit home runs right now, and it's it seems that it's a more offensive game, which it always has, but it's more evident today. Back in the aluminum bat era days, you really had to learn how to hit the ball.
Spin it too.
Yep. And you had to work at the game. And I'm not saying these guys don't work at their game, because we all know they do. But with the composite bats, the batted ball speed is increased so much coming off the bat. And I'm not.
Thank you.
It's just different. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Technology's different. Technology's better with the composite bats.
Well,
but
one of the things I hear all the time is, the real old timers, and when I first started playing softball, believe it or not, I used a wood bat. So, I went from a wood bat to a 70-46 alloy bat to a CU31 bat. And, of course, we swung heavy bats, too. I mean, everything we had was 34 ounce, 35, 36 ounce. I mean, it was, now you're seeing a lot of guys, the most popular size probably 27 ounce.
Yeah, I mean, and those are two popular sizes, 26, 27.
Right.
Even up until about 3 or 4 years ago, there were still some guys swinging 30-ounce bats, and now that's on the decline.
Right.
28 is now the 30.
Right.
So you have 26 and 27, 20. Back in the day, like you're talking about, we're swinging 30-ounce bats. I am. You guys are swinging 34, 36. So the bat speed, nowadays with the bat speed, it's a lot quicker. The batted ball speed's faster.
Right.
Your reaction time, you don't have enough reaction time to react to the ball.
Right.
So it's either at you or by you. In the aluminum bat era, you had time to field the ball.
Right.
You're hitting a cork center ball as against a polyurethane ball, which we're playing with today. But it's just different. It's a different era. It's a different generation. It's a different type of player.
Right.
You go back on the 300-foot fields when it was unlimited home runs, swinging aluminum bats that all you can hit. You had big guys, big, strong football-type guys that are just trying to hit it 301 foot.
And I think one of the things that's kind of gone along with the technology has been the home run limitations.
Correct.
Because guys have to play the game now. When you get to a lot of these conference tournaments, and that's going to be a game winner right there. That's going to put the run rule in effect, and Resmondo's going to take this game here. Hats off to VCH for their victory this morning and, giving them a battle here for a few innings here today. But, Resmondo's going to move on, and it's, looks like they were hitting the ball good. So great working with you, DT.
Sure will, my brother.
We'll be here again one night. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We're going to. That's it for this game here from Champion Stadium and Disney Wild World of Sports, ESSA Men's Major World Series, and we'll see what happens in the next tilt. Good night, everybody.